Okay, in this video we're going to talk about the steering linkage, which is this rod that goes across to connect the two wheels. And we're going to talk about how to install it, and then we're going to talk about how to align the wheels to each other. So first thing is, we want to, in the kingpin, there's two holes next to each other. We want to go at the inside. The two that are closest to each other is the hole that you go through. Also, you see how this is above the kingpin and then bolted below? That's how it wants to be. You don't want this underneath, you don't want the bolt on top, you want this above, the bolt through it, and then the nut. If this ever came loose, that kind of keeps it together until you can stop. You know, it's a safety thing. And it's the proper place anyway. So the next thing is, this is how you align it. So we've got this connected together. The way to check this is, you go about halfway across the wheel, you put this across to the other wheel, and I go to the far spoke. I'm going to the spokes that are on the outside of the wheel. And then the reason I do that, it doesn't really matter which one, but the hook of my tape measure catches on that and doesn't fall off all the time. That's the only reason I do it. So you're going to mirror the mirror images of each other. You're going to the outside and to the outside over here. And I'm just taking the measurement and going, oh, look at that, right there. I'm keeping that 80 in my head. I'm grabbing it. I'm taking it halfway up the wheel on the backside and weeding it through all this stuff. I'm doing the same thing. I'm going to the outside spoke. I'm going to the outside spoke. And look at that, it's at 80. So we want these numbers to be the same within 2 or 3 millimeters. You want it as close as you can get it. If it was wrong, then here's what you do. You loosen up this nut and this nut. And then you can turn this black thing one way or the other, depending on whether you want this closer in the front or farther away to make it parallel. You want these wheels to be parallel. So then we would just turn this and take the measurement again until it got right down to like, oh yeah, that's good. Then we'd hold this, tighten that nut, hold this, tighten that nut, and it's locked really good. And then you double check yourself again, and that's how you check the alignment. The alignment really should stay forever unless something bangs this rod or they hit something really hard like a curb or something and something gets bent. It's usually going to be the rod that connects them that gets bent. So if somebody's complaining because their tires are wearing out quickly, first thing to look at is probably the alignment, and look at that rod. See if it's been bent.